So, it's the Macintosh Guide, and welcome back, guys, to the YouTube channel. I've got a very long video, very amateur style video, absolutely. And hopefully I don't bore you guys to death. I've got the Mac Pro 7,1 2019 machine, and I've got this tiny little brother, we would like to say, the Mac Pro 6,1. This used to be my production machine in terms of my projects and stuff I do for development. This hunky devil is now my main machine for all development tasks and just personal usage and stuff like that. And yeah, today I'm going to be showing loads of benchmarks. We're going to go through DaVinci Resolve, we're going to go through Xcode, we're going to go through GeekBench scores, Novabench, Cinebench, yeah, loads of benchmarks today. And yeah, it's a very amateur style video, so hopefully you guys aren't bored to death. And yeah, just enjoy and don't rip me apart in the comments. Cheers. The 6,1, we're going to do a benchmark. And let's just start off with GeekBench. I feel like this is going to be the best test we can start off with right now. So just running a CPU benchmark. Once this is done, I will present the results, and you shall also see this as a pattern throughout the video. I'll be doing short clips which will show you me starting the benchmark, and then short clips of me showing you the ending of the benchmarks, the results that come with it. It's just so that you guys can see in a real world perspective. I'm not a guy who will just show you a little screenshot and then call it a day. I wanted you guys to actually see the results, and obviously me just going through some of the information that shows up. Yes, I'll see you guys very shortly. The single core score is 702. The multi-core score is 7,631. I mean, it's not bad. That's still very exceptional for today's standards as well. But guys, you've got to bear in mind this is a machine from 2013. So don't be expecting, amazing type of scores over here. This was one of the best machines back in 2013 up until probably around 2015, 2016-ish, I would say. But still very remarkable for today. And it works out absolutely fine. No issues. I've never had any issues with this machine. It still does every single job without a problem. Two types of tests. I'm going to be running a OpenCL test for the GPU, and then I'll also be running a metal test on the GPU as well. So this will give us a comparison between the OpenCL and the metal differences for the GPU. So I'm going to run that now, and then I'll meet you guys when the benchmarks are done for both of them. We'll just do a bit of a side-by-side comparison. OpenCL and the metal score. So the OpenCL is the one on the left. It came with a GeekBench score of 29,200. Pretty good, pretty respectable, pretty good. Not the greatest, obviously, but still very good for today's time. And then on the right hand side, we got the metal score GeekBench result being 31,869. So just about 2,000 score more. Again, it's still very close. You're not really going to notice a huge difference, but obviously metal is Apple's baby, so the score came out much improved here. So yeah, those were the GeekBench results for the 6,1. Mac Pro 7,1, the tower. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. We should do the first test, which is the GeekBench 5 test, and let's run the CPU benchmark. Our single core performance is 1,119. The multi-core performance is 16,069. That's way more than what the Mac Pro 6,1 did, that's for sure. yeah, let me now do a compute benchmark. We'll do both. We'll do OpenCL and we'll do Metal, and then I'll let you know what the results are. Mac Pro 7,1 on OpenCL scored 42,101. Fairly quick test. Probably took less than 30 seconds in my personal opinion. It didn't take that long at all. The 16-core CPU is the 16-core CPU, sorry, and the 5500X is beasting it through this benchmark so far. Let's try and do the Metal one straight away. Is 45,119. Now, this is better than OpenCL, but obviously Metal is Apple's component. But yeah, the GeekBench scores, as you can tell, are already far superior than what the 6,1 was showing. Now we'll move on to Cinebench Cinebench tests, and then yeah, I'll see you guys there. Loaded up. As you can see, this is going to be testing the CPU's multi-core and the single core. So what I will be doing is doing a multi-core test, showing you the results. And this is just a chart over here. So as you can tell, it's got the Threadripper. And it's got a couple of other CPUs, 24 cores, 16 cores, 8 cores, 12 cores, which is R1. Just as a comparison and the results that those specs have achieved. So yeah, let me run the test and then I'll show you guys the results. Just a video I'm shooting just from my phone. As you can tell, the way it's doing this, it's tremendously slow. This is obviously an old CPU, but you know, all of this stuff in the real world, if you're going to be using this machine, obviously you're not going to be noticing this. It's only when you're going to start looking into doing some heavy editing and stuff like that. It's when it's going to struggle a bit. But yeah, just wanted to shoot this just mini little video just to kind of give you guys an overview about what's going on over here, why it's lagging behind and not being quite fluid. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the benchmark results. Needed the multi-core test because the single core test was just going to take too long to do. But the multi-core test is the important part. So as you can tell, we got a score of 8,298. That is leaving us around here on number 7th. Number 8 was the same machine, but we just scored 3 points higher. That's the only difference. Obviously, this is not going to be giving us Threadripper type of benchmark scores, but this is still very respectable for today's standards. And you can get a lot of work done with a machine like this. You're not really going to notice anything again in day-to-day usage. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people who would still want to buy the 6,1 trash can still will love this machine and still be able to do whatever work that they want to put onto it, which is CPU intensive. Up Cinebench R23, and let's just go straight into it. A multi-core CPU test like we did last time, and yeah, let's just go and I'll come back to you guys with the results. Just a video I'm doing for my phone again, far quicker than it was before in the 6,1. This is just killing it in the CPU. It's just breezing through it. But yeah, well, I'll be back with the results shortly, guys. So the 16-core CPU on this scored 17,765 on the multi-core. So again, that's far more. That's more than double than what the 6,1 had. It plays through this, to be honest. There's no words I can really describe it. It's fast, it's quick, and it's doing everything as in a tank level. But yeah, these are the benchmark scores for the Cinebench one. Let's move on to the next test. Of clicking starting test. So this tests the CPU and it will test the GPU as well of the machine, and then it'll print a result out for us on Safari. So when this is done, its tests, I will come back and show you the results. Results have come up. As you can see, the score is 2,822. CPU score of 1817. RAM score of 303. Sorry. GPU score of 575. And the disk score of 127. So if we look at the overview, it's just showing up as in terms of the ranking. It looks like it says 2016 system error, relative score about plus 179%, and the overall rank being in the 91st all-time percentile. If we look at the part performance, it's the CPU is 90th, and the GPU is also in the 90th percentile. And just for the fun sake of it, if we compare it to like a mid-level gaming PC from 2021, which has an i5 9600K or a Ryzen 5 3500 and a 2070 or 5700X XT, you're looking at the overall score being above 12%, CPU score being above 82%, GPU score being minus 43%. So as you guys can tell, it does the job. It's perfectly usable. It's not like it's going to struggle, but obviously if you're expecting to do some gaming or anything like that, this machine's not going to be ideal for that. And let's just get straight into it. Let's start the test. It says it's going to take about a minute and a half. Once the CPU and the GPU tests are done, it will display the results. So I'll show you guys that as always once the benchmark is done. I feel like I've been saying that a lot in this video. Came out and the benchmark score is 3,687 with a CPU score of 2,468, a RAM score of 319, a GPU score of 713, and a disk score of 187. So it's obviously showing the RAM speed as 9,910 megabytes per second, Direct3D 11 with 96 FPS, OpenCL 2605 GFlops. The write speed on the disk score was 455, and the read speed was 2,401 megabytes per second. That 455 is a bit worrying to an extent, but I've not really had any problems, so I'm pretty sure it's fine, but I think I might just do some cleanup and see if it fixes anything or improves the score. Just an overview, it's plus 110% in terms of the error average, which is the 1755. Overall rank is in the 97th all-time percentile, part performance 89th and 45th, and the baseline comparison to a mid-level gaming PC, overall 46% higher, CPU score is 147% higher, with the GPU score being minus 29%. So, it's slightly a bit better. But in all honesty, you're comparing it to a gaming PC. But this obviously costs 10 times more than a gaming PC. So, I guess, yeah, those are the question marks right there under the Nova benchmarks. Going to be the Unigine Heaven benchmark test first. And these are the presets that I've put on the benchmark. What I will do is I'll run the benchmark and then I'll show you guys the results at the end. The benchmark testing for Unigine, you can see that the low benchmark obviously was the highest. It was giving us an FPS about 44.3 and a score of 1,116. And the minimum being 9.4 and the max being 85. The medium settings test was literally nearly half we're talking about, 25.1 as FPS, score being 631, so again pretty much just half. Minimum FPS dropping down to 7.5 and the max FPS showing up as 50.3. And obviously the high benchmark, which was tremendously bad, obviously 16.5 as FPS, score being 416, so just about a quarter of the low benchmarks, FPS being about 5.8 in terms of minimums, and the maximums being about 35.5. So as you could tell, low is probably the best in terms of the low. Doing the Unigine Heaven benchmark test. You can see all the presets I've put on here. I've left a medium for now, but as always I'll do low, medium and high tests, and then I'll show you all three results at the end of this benchmark. So I shall see you guys then. In this one, to be honest, might just be something might be wrong in terms of my settings, but the low score obviously was very high, 102.7 FPS, score being 2587, minimum being 18.2, and the max being 183.8. And for some reason, tessellation was always coming up as disabled. Couldn't do it. Every time I enabled it, it would freak out on my screen. So I just had to keep it disabled. But then things get a bit odd. So when I did the medium level setting test, it gave me an average FPS of 36.9, score of 930, minimum FPS of 11.2, and max being 70. But that is a third of what I was getting on low, which is, I find a bit weird. I would have expected this to be around the 80s, possibly. Maybe 90s is pushing it, but I find that quite weird. I think something might have gone wrong. And I've done some troubleshooting, but it hasn't really helped. These are the same results I keep getting. Because if I then look at the next one, which is the high benchmark, 36.7, 924, minimum FPS being 10.7 and max being 78. So the maximum FPS was better in high and only a 0.2 FPS loss. Something's not right here. But again, I've tried some troubleshooting. I keep getting the same issue. I know it's saying windowed here. I tried this on full screen and the same result, guys. It's no difference. It's just I took a screenshot of the windowed one instead at the end. Odd, very odd. But these are the benchmark results we have got. I'm not sure what's happened, but these are the scores we got, and let's just stick with these. Code benchmark test. Let me first of all make the terminal window a bit bigger so you guys can actually see. When I did the Xcode benchmarks in the previous two videos, it was quite small, so I thought this might be better for visibility. But all we'll need to do is cd into the folder, so you type in cd and then you can just drag the folder from your desktop or downloads or whatever you've stored it, press enter, and then all you need to do to start the test is type in sh benchmark.sh, and then you just press enter, and as you can tell, it has started doing the benchmark. This will take a while to do, so I will come back to you guys with the results at the end of it. These tests are amazing. I'll link you guys the GitHub library for the Xcode one. It gives you some comparisons as well to other Mac machines and any custom build PC machines. I've got myself a custom PC as well that I use for gaming, and I will also be doing a video on it later on. I know it's not Mac related or Apple related, but it's always good to show off what other things there are available that are out there. So yeah, let this test complete and then I'll come back in 186.628 seconds. Just to let you guys know, all of these tests for the Trashcan Mac Pro were done on Catalina. This is the best operating system, I believe, for the machine. It doesn't have any issues on Mojave or Big Sur or anything, but I personally just like running it on Catalina. So these tests are done solely on Catalina. And yeah, it did the test in this amount of time. And yeah, no issues at all. It obviously took a while, but about 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes. Xcode benchmark test, like we did on the 6.1. I've already loaded up the directory, so it's just a matter of sh benchmark.sh to run. And there we go, it's already going ahead. While this is running, just a couple of things, guys, I also wanted to talk about. I really appreciate everyone liking the videos, everyone subscribing. I've now reached 300 plus views on the channel, which is incredible. I really appreciate everyone tuning in, watching my last two videos. It's incredible. I mean, this is not a full-time thing for me. This is just something I love doing. I love Apple tech. I love these beast machines, and it's just incredible for me to be able to show these machines off to you guys, use them personally as well. And yeah, I mean, I hope it helps people. I know not many people are going to be out there purchasing a 7.1 and a 6.1 machines nowadays, but um, it's still incredible to have a look at these machines in 2023. You don't see them that often anymore. I've had a look at YouTube for Mac Pro 7.1 and 6.1 videos, and there's probably about just a handful that get uploaded in a year now. 7.1 videos are just very rare. You rarely see them. But I really appreciate everyone tuning in, and yeah, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This should still be chugging along for another couple of seconds. I will come back when the benchmark has finished. The build succeeded in just 103.108 seconds. Very quick for this beastly machine. Yeah, it compiles really quickly, guys. I use this machine regularly regarding some development projects and stuff I work here for work. Also, I mean, obviously this is not meant for full development work. It's mostly meant to be for high-end editing and stuff like that. But you can, if you've got the money, you can definitely have no issues in terms of development work. And yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll absolutely enjoy it. But I wouldn't suggest buying this for development needs. Video which is about 13.5 minutes long. It's 3840 by 2160, 30 FPS. These are videos that beginners would usually make. It's about 2.99 gigabytes in estimation. It's an MP4 file. And let's just export it and see how long it takes. So yeah, let's just save it as export test, and let's just say we save it on the desktop. And yeah, so it will notify me when it's done, and I'll let you guys know how long it took. I've finished. I've got the video on my desktop, and that export time took 22 minutes and 26 seconds. So it's a long time. I mean, it's not going to be an issue for some people if they're just going to leave their desktop on and walk away and going to go do some other stuff. But just to let you guys, just as obviously it says 22 minutes 26 seconds. That's for the 6.1 trash can. Now we'll switch over to the 7.1 tower, and you guys will see all the test results when we go through each of them. See you guys then. Just a little edit while this is happening from my phone. Currently doing the Final Cut Pro test. I'm doing an exporting of the same video, same everything. And yeah, it's chugging along. This is already on 20%. The other one was way behind. I thought instead of having to show the same clip at the beginning and then going back and showing it and then showing you the same clip, I thought I'd do some cut throughs on some of the benchmarks, just so you guys don't see the repetitive talk all the time. But yeah, so it's chugging along. It's pretty much nearly on 30% already. I've got the timer right here on my phone, so yeah, I will let you guys know when the benchmark is. Guys, if you guys wanted to guess, leave a comment, but the export time is ridiculous on this machine. It is 4 minutes and 30 seconds for the same file, same size, same everything. 4 minutes 30 seconds. That's crazy. When we did on a 6.1, it was 22 minutes. This is, oh guys, this is incredible. This is lowering your time by a lot. So this machine is an absolute beast, and you would save so much time. But yeah, that's the Final Cut Pro export test. Resolve export time test that I'd like to do as well. I've got the clips and stuff ready. Same time frame for the entire video for this one, 13.5 minutes. We're exporting it 3840 by 2160, 24 frames, MP4 format. And yeah, so as soon as it's finished exporting, I'll let you guys know how long that took. Excellent, I'll see you then. It actually completed the job in 17 minutes 32 seconds, which has beat the export time for the Final Cut Pro version on this machine by nearly 5 minutes, which is crazy. So if you are going to be doing editing, DaVinci Resolve is your best bet. So all the settings seem to be correct, and all we need to do is click add to render queue and render all, and we'll see the magic happening. There you go, the percentage. So currently it's predicted to be 4 minutes 50 seconds. The time's going up. We'll find out when it's finished, but I will let you guys know when the benchmark is done for the export. DaVinci Resolve tests were a bit odd for this one. I've run this twice now, but I keep getting the 5-minute mark for exporting the video. It seems like Final Cut Pro seems to be much better for the Mac Pro 2019. But again, it's all dependent on you at the end of the day. You're shaving off about 45 seconds, 30 seconds. But I mean, DaVinci Resolve still runs smooth, no issues in terms of playback. Everything was butter smooth when I did this, so it's a personal preference. But it's still very quick. It's very quick. Sorry, than the Mac Pro 6.1. That was obviously still 17 minutes. So you're still saving 12 minutes of time. So just bear that in mind, guys. So after doing all the benchmarks, clearly the winner is going to be the Mac Pro 7.1. This is a beast. This is overpriced, absolutely, but it does everything speedy, quickly, and you'll be onto other tasks and projects very swiftly. Whereas on the 6.1, you will have to wait longer periods of time for things to be done, and it does get quite warm quite quickly, whereas the 7.1, massive cooling system in place, massive ventilation available everywhere. So yeah, from my perspective, in terms of my day-to-day usage, 6.1 is more like a collectible item nowadays. As if you haven't seen the first video I did, this is a fully spec'd out 12-core CPU, D700s. On this one, I've actually upgraded this one, guys, and I've got a video coming in the next couple of weeks that shows the upgrade I was doing, and a terabyte of SSD storage. Whereas this devil, I like to say, 96 gigs of RAM, 16-core CPU. It's got 1 terabyte SSD installed into it, and a 5500X GPU. It blasts through things. This is obviously, I believe, with the rumors going on, this actually might be replaced with the Apple Silicon version in the next couple of months. But it will be keeping the same design, but upgradability will be a bit limited. So, but apparently will be cheaper. The clear winner, obviously, from all the results, it's this guy. This guy is the winner. The 7.1. It's overpriced as hell, as we all know. I know it, guys. Yes, I'm aware. It's very overpriced. It's expensive, but it does everything. It does everything quickly. It will get your job done. And if I had to recommend out of these two machines, for me it'd have to be the 7.1. However, if I had a more variety of choice, the Mac Studio, guys. The Mac Studio is a clear winner. It's cheaper. It does everything as quick, or sometimes quicker, than the Mac Pro. Yeah, save your money, get a Mac Studio, or even a M1 Max, MacBook Pros. they are pretty good as well. Portability is fantastic. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was very long. I apologise about that. And also apologise regarding the amateur editing I'm going to be doing for this video. I'm still learning, as you guys can probably tell. And yeah, just if you like the video, leave a like, comment as well if you've got anything to say. I reply back to comments quite quickly as well. So yeah, thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.